Okay, hope everything's up. This is dropping in at Pipeline Audio number 116, and this is Character Flaw. Let me up. What do we got here? Okay, first of all, there's a new ToneLib update. It doesn't look like they added any new features, but it's ToneLib GFX. You know, this is the extremely affordable guitar multi-effects processor. It's got an impulse loader, most of the effects you could think of. I don't think it has a harmonizer. I think there's a wah-wah. It's got some stuff, but there's an update for it. I think it was a performance update and some minor bugs. Not that I've ever had a problem with this thing, but if you're a ToneLib user, go grab it. If you're not a ToneLib user, you probably should be. I mean, this is just it's kind of one of those no-brainer plugs. Go check it out. We'll probably end up liking it. And there was the YouTube drama this week when Stevie T got hacked. I still don't know much of the details about exactly what happened. I have a feeling it's how most channels get hacked. They pick up a new advertiser, and there's certain things that you kind of have to do in order to have the advertiser on the easiest way. You know, YouTube handles ads, but that's a different kind of thing. That's usually where people get hacked, but you know, who knows? The good thing is that a lot of us shared what was going on with Stevie, and miracle of miracles. I mean, as big as he is, he's really not as big as, you know, the girls who do like the eyelash channels or whatever. It's kind of funny on a related note. You know, we were looking for endorsers for our products, and the biggest recording channel out there is smaller than the crappiest like makeup channel out there. So anyway, YouTube, Stevie is small enough that YouTube's not going to pay him any mind, but everybody out there really shared this, and YouTube did end up answering. It seems like he's back on track, and so thank you everybody who answered that call. And you know, thanks, I think, YouTube, but I think it's way past time to split this whole company up. I mean, YouTube hurts their users at will, just does crazy arbitrary stuff, acts in an extremely politically biased manner, and I don't just mean left-wing, right-wing. I mean they are definitely on the Kool-Aid train, and some of their members are much more likely to wield their powers than others. So sometimes you get good mods, but often if you don't line up with them ideologically, you will get nailed. They don't state the rules that you have to follow. They just bust you for them after the fact. Sometimes, not sure if it's YouTube or I know Patreon for sure, but seems like people get nailed for things they do not on the platform. You know, the case of whether you like him or hate him, I don't care. What happened to Sargon with Patreon, that was pretty disgusting, you know. You know, YouTube has no real accountability or an easy way for mere mortals to get a hold of them. I think it's long past time to break up this Google monopoly. And after seeing the not monopolies the government has gone after before, it's just mind-blowing that Google is so immune. So, you know, I'm glad Stevie got his channel back, but I think I really wish we had alternatives. This whole thing, I mean, some of you guys know what happened with me with YouTube and some of the others, so still not happy, but good thing Stevie got. I mean, Stevie T, again, love him or hate him, but for a lot of us, he provides extremely valuable content and entertainment, and you know, his style may not be for everybody, but he's not a bad person. You know, he doesn't need to be canceled. So, actually heard from Vern Grainer. I don't know if he wanted me to say that, but he has a band living near him that has they've been practicing in their garage. He's been helping them out a little bit, figuring stuff out. And you guys probably know this story. The band plays so crazy loud, and some other technical difficulties that nobody can hear each other. And it's just squealing and noise constantly, and it's just a nightmare of ear damage and everything else. If you're in a band, if you're there, so you guys know we have a program here where we really get the kids out there playing for real up against the adult bands and stuff. First of all, for the most part, if you're writing something, that's one thing, but rehearsals are usually you learn your song at home and then you come to rehearsal to learn how to play it as a band, not your part, but how to be an instrument called a band. That's what rehearsal's for the most part, unless they're writing again. If you're writing, the volume should really be pretty low so that you guys can actually hear what you guys are talking about and that you can talk at any time, which is very, very important. If you find yourself having to yell over the mic in order to talk to your bandmates, you're probably way too loud for, at least for writing. And still yet, even if you're there to rehearse, you still need to really hear what each other are doing, and the more volume is really not going to help that. So, I have some rules. Like, one of them is the productivity of a rehearsal is inversely proportional to the volume of the rehearsal. I mean, sure, you could take that to the extreme, and you could be too quiet to practice or whatever, but it's almost always true. And if you really think about it, you guys know that as well. Oh yeah. If you want to be on this live stream right now, this live chat, just click the link in the description, and it'll let you on. I just got to click a few buttons, and I can bring you in here. Sorry. Let's see. So, one of the things about rehearsing, like you say, the band needs to hear each other, and they need to. You're there so that you can create this front of a united band that is an instrument that comes out the speakers in the audience, and bringing crazy loud gear. Like, I've seen bands that bring like 3 or 4 4x12s to a rehearsal. I don't know where you're gonna play. Okay, so let's play they're playing a small club. You're not gonna be able to put that much volume out in that club. They're gonna kill you. And you always got to remember that whatever volume you put on the stage, that affects your ratio between like what you actually want your mics to capture and what you don't want your mics to capture. If your singer's mic is mostly guitar or mostly bass because the stage volume is so loud that they have to keep turning up the singer, but that also turns up the guitar or whatever out in front of the house, and that's just mud. And then eventually it's just going to feed back. The quieter you can keep your stage volume, the better. So you're not going to bring in 3 or 4 4x12s for some small show. I mean, maybe if there's no PA and you're outdoor and you're putting your cabinets really far apart or something, I guess. But really, those giant cabinets are usually just for show, not for the show, but for show, like not plugged in. Remember how many times those things were just cardboard cutouts of cabinets and stuff, or fake facades and stuff? I mean, the club's not going to want you to be blasting their guys out either. And you really got to watch that stage volume, and really you got to watch that mud. Like, we had a guy in here the other day, back like what you think, the no mids, super boosted bass and treble, and if he were to turn down, the drum cymbals would eat all his highs, and the bass guitar would eat all his lows. But if he turns up, he eats those. So now there's no drums, and now there's no bass, right? So this is something to watch out for. Watch your tone. I probably told the story a million times about here about playing Dave Mustaine's setup back in the day, and not only do these guys not usually, even the heaviest heavy metal guys don't really have that scooped mid sound. they also aren't playing with as much gain as you think. And that comes to another problem that you're going to see, and that's how many times have we talked about pedal cultists on here? There are people who believe that no matter what laws of the universe there are, what they really need is a gigantic pedal board with a bunch of old 70s and 80s guitar pedals on it, all stuck in a row, and have all these power supplies running to them, just a zillion wires, and they were the noisiest things in the world. Like, they're just, never mind that these pedals were noisy in the first place, but chaining that many together and having all those open, unbalanced cables all over the place just turns into this factory. And you can see it in times when these bands are practicing, these pedal cultists. There's like, let's say they're playing some kind of chunky metal part that's supposed to go dun 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 dun. Instead, it's dun 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 dun. There is no dynamics. There is no space where it's supposed to be those holes in the music. It's just hiss, just crazy noise coming through. And when it's not that, it's just feedback, and it's just a nightmare. It's just noise, man. Whenever we ABX these things, where we actually have people listen, which is this your favorite amp, or is this an emulator, or what exactly is going on here? They can't usually tell the difference between their $1 billion, their giant pedal board, and their and something sensible, like ever since that Line 6 Pod Go came out, I really, that's a smaller price to pay than the Helix or whatever, and it's a pretty awesome unit. I know, a lot of people are Line 6 haters. I mean, I'm kind of one of them, but they did a pretty good job in that. And really, you really think that the crappy pedal you're sticking on there, that noisy thing, is better than what's inside that DSP? I mean, we can go ABX this stuff. In fact, I'd like to, and we can see exactly what's going on with that. I have a feeling that you won't be able to ABX between them, and also, when you got this pedal board, like let's say you got this distortion pedal, you have that one sound right there. You can either turn it on or you can turn it off, but that's it. When you have these in these giant DSP, like digital pedal boards, like a Helix or a Axe-Fx or something like that, you have infinite instances of those plugins. Every time you change presets, you could have totally different settings on them. You can change the order of things. It's just so far superior. I know there's like this vintage Kool-Aid that you guys want to drink, but come on. Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble where I don't see that I'm actually. I've been a bit muted by some of the social media stuff, and I'm not seeing that I'm actually on right now, which is. Let me just check. Sorry, guys. If anybody that's out there listening live, I'm not sure I'm actually going out to. In fact, I'm almost positive I'm not going out to where I'm supposed to be going. It says on live on Restream. Says I'm on the air. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I need to just check a couple things. It doesn't seem to be streaming. I wonder if Restream signed me out. Showing me. Everything's showing offline. Why is everything showing offline? Okay. Well, I guess I'm just recording this one. Nice. Thanks, guys. Okay. So I was just going to keep going here. Let's see. There's some new products out right now. What do we got? Motu's got an Ultralight Mark V. Looks pretty much like its older ones, but the Motu USB drivers have not been that kind of class-leading thing. When Motu used to kind of go neck and neck with RME, So far, the USB drivers haven't been anything super special to me, but hopefully this is changing things. But it's still nice to see that they are staying in the USB thing. It's not just going to Thunderbolt or whatever. I'm still not so sure about Thunderbolt. I know that people are saying everything's cool with it, but I don't know, guys. We shall see. So it looks like about $600 list price. What do we got? They're saying that the analog inputs vastly outperform earlier models with a measured 120 decibel dynamic range and minus 114 dB THD plus N. Markable minus 129 dB equivalent input noise. That sounds pretty good. QMix says completely re-engineered for native app for Mac OS, Windows 10, and iOS. I don't know what they mean by that. I really don't like how QMix has just kind of been a hit or miss thing. It's pretty amazing when it works, but I would love to see it more unified like RME. But anyway, it's nice to see. There's a total simultaneous 4D simultaneous I/O channels, 2 XLRs, 6x10 balanced 1/4 inch analog I/O. What does that mean? 6x10. Anyway, looks good. If you were an old ultralight user and it was the setup that you had, it looks like they're still carrying this on. Okay, here comes Restream chat telling me now that I'm online. Why am I online so much later? It's flashing and doing weird things. I did put a I've got a wireless security system up now, and I wonder if that's eating so much bandwidth that I can't stream anymore. I don't know. Let me see if it's actually saying that I'm on now. It's not saying I'm on. All right, why? Yeah, sending data. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking this USB camera, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Okay, anyway, next one. IK Multimedia puts out a new T-Rax compressor. If you guys like this looks very much like a distressor, right? So let's see. IK Multimedia releases T-Rax compressor based on one of the most flexible and creative analog compressors ever made, with 8 selectable curves, selectable second or third order harmonic saturation, high pass, band pass filters on the sidechain path, and much more. It very much looks like a distressor. I wonder if it's going to be latent. Like pretty much, I think everything in T-Rax has a little bit of latency. I'm not really sure about it, but I mean, if you like these distressors, go for it. I got one of them from, I think it was which company was it? I forget which company. I liked it okay, but I just end up using a different compressor anyway. But if you really want a distressor, this thing looks cool. iLok announces USB-C. All right. iLok has become less painful lately, though it's still kind of a hassle to develop for. But because they do that iLok cloud now, things seem a lot better to me. So, do we really need a USB-C? I guess you do, because pretty soon there's not going to be any USB, whatever the old style one was. So I guess that's good. So if you own a Mac, start buying more iLok stuff. Why should I buy the new version of the iLok USB-C? If your computer only has USB Type-C ports, you can use the new iLok USB-C without the need for a USB Type-A to USB Type-C adapter connector. Looks okay. Okay, so now this is cool. Something called Satellite Plugins 2.2, and this is something I actually had hoped to develop. It's kind of carrying on with where Ninjam was, but a little bit more in the productivity side. So let me read what they say. Instant collaboration with anyone, anywhere, inside your DAW of choice. Exchange audio and MIDI without bouncing stems and file sharing. Free from Mixed In Key. Chat inside your DAW. Communicate with your collaborators within satellite plugins. No need to ever leave your DAW. Ableton Warp enabled. Audio exports from satellite plugins are designed to work perfectly with Ableton Live warping audio. Drag and drop will always be in sync. Ultimate audio quality enabled. Choose Ultimate for 24-bit lossless audio in the sample rate of your choice, or select Fastest for lightweight OGG files. So it says download now from mixedinkey.com satellite download. This sounds amazingly exciting for collaboration with your other bands and stuff. So go check it out. I have no idea how they're paying for this. It says free, but let's see. Let me go to why is it free real quick. COVID-19 is tough on everyone. We wanted to make a collab easier and safer for musicians. So we decided to make a free version of satellite plugins for everyone to enjoy it. Will we ever have to pay for satellite plugins? We will have a permanent free tier with very few limitations. There will be a paid pro level for satellite eventually. But if you want to help support what you're doing now, please buy Captain Plugins Mixed In Key or Mixed In Key Studio Edition from us. That's interesting. So this sounds like a really cool product here. I got this was pretty lame. It's an ad in Facebook. It says it was like a Facebook grow my podcast ad. It says how do my podcast audience double every 3 months? At first, I did what most podcasters do. I relied on word of mouth, Instagram, Facebook, released episodes weekly. The show didn't grow at all. In fact, listenership fell, so I stopped releasing episodes. I broke the consistency rule. It tells you all about all this cool stuff that he did. And then it says, my podcast audience grows on average 35% every month. That means it doubles every 3 months. Since then, I've started coaching others too, and my podcasting students are growing their download numbers 60% to 100% per month. Per month! And it's not even that hard. To show you exactly how, I put together an online free on-demand masterclass. I'm sure it's free, right? Notice nowhere on here does he tell what podcast this is. So I've asked a couple times, where does which podcast is this? And I can't find it. So if you do click on the thing that it takes you to, it's exclusive free masterclass for podcasters. How I took my podcast past 100K downloads and 100K monetized in 1 year without burning myself out. And he's got like some seminar looking thing where he's got a panel or some nonsense going on. And he's telling you how to join the masterclass now. Again, doesn't say which podcast this is. So you can register to watch the free training. I'm not going to do that, but this is the kind of sleazy kind of ads I can't stand. It's just, very light on the information, big on the claims, light on the information, pretty much like when people do claims about mic preamps, right? Anyhow, I have, I'm going to get on the phone with Restream right now. So I have way too many technical difficulties to make a very long show out of this. So I'm going to fix this. Next week, I promise you guys I'm going to have a much better show. So I'm going to take off. See you guys later.